Welcome back to my new series, Masks. Today, we're diving right into the first of this series. Let's start by talking about the Northern Line. It may seem a strange place to start, but bear with me. Every morning, that tube train was like my own personal diagnostics tool. I'd catch my reflection in those often grimy, scratched windows and meet a man whose internal battery, despite 7 solid hours sleep, was stubbornly stuck at only 50%. So, we were a buzzing e-commerce agency in London, really good at what we did, but like a kid in a candy store, our eyes were bigger than our bellies. We'd promised a revolutionary Apple app, and that was back in the days when the App Store was the Wild West. Folks, seriously, it was a different game back there. We found ourselves with three brilliant, high performing individuals who, frankly, refused to play nice. An eccentric visionary, an awesome designer, and a wickedly smart developer. My title back then was Senior Project Manager, but my real gig, it was Human API, the Acute Passion Interrupter, as I called it. My mission, connect the three often stubborn brilliance to our clients' mounting anxiety for weeks. It felt like I was constantly navigating a high stakes game of professional dodgeball. And trust me, a lot of the time it was more ball than dodge. So, what's a fellow with 50% battery and a rising anxiety to do? Of course, build a mask. Here's how the ritual went down. On the tube train, as the station lights started to strobe through those grimy windows, I'd initiate what I would call the mask boot up sequence. I bet you've done something similar before a big meeting too. Think about it. Force a smile, not not the genuine eye crinkling kind, but the one you practice for those mandatory family photos. By the time I hit the studio, the mask was bolted on tight, and I was ready to try and dodge whatever came my way. Morning! I sliced through the quiet tension with a cheerfulness that was, let's be honest, an act of pure defiance. Think Broadway debut, but with more existential dread. Not quite as flamboyant as a future client. You'll meet him in a future episode. I became the office socialite, asking out people's commutes, about their weekend plans, or what they had done at the weekend. Anything to weave a psychological safety net for a team, quite frankly, fraying at the seams. Anything to gain rapport and trust. I dive into and chat about. Back then, I'd often use humour to sweep conflict under the carpet, joking our way out of tough spots. A well-timed wisecrack felt way easier than a difficult conversation. You know the dodge, I'm sure. But here's the kicker. That performance put a steep psychological price upon me. When you force a happy mask on all day while your insides are churning, you're essentially building a cognitive dissonance pressure cooker. Your brain is trying to win a competitive game against itself, an exhausting tournament to referee to. Researchers confirm that this surface acting spikes chemicals in your brain and speeds up burnout. All that suppressed stress eventually needs an exit game because, science says, not just me complaining. For me, the leverage flooded my home life. I stopped cooking, the one thing that usually anchored me. I became a ghost to my friends, turning down after each drinks and grabbing takeout rather than buying ingredients, and also being in bed by 10:30 p.m. Now, to some, that's great, but for me, an hour so early, it was practically a distress signal. My partner would ask, "Are you okay? You're so quiet." I burned through every drop of my happy fuel at the office. Nothing was left for the people who truly mattered in my life. That slow drain, that Groundhog Day cycle was just the prelude to the main event. The unmasking, when it came, happened in a glass-walled, non-soundproof meeting room, a professional fishbowl of agony, may it be. Two of our brilliant team members were in full-blown shouting match. Brutal, personal, and loud enough for the whole studio to hear. I pushed on the mask. I walked in and I tried to mediate. Guys, like, I get that you have different opinions, but the client needs this to work. We all do. Can we work this out? One of them turned to me, eyes ice cold, and snapped, "Who cares? And who the hell do you think you are anyhow?" And that was it. The mask didn't just slip, it shattered. My optimism, my shield fell off my face and was now laying on the floor in 100 pieces. I walked straight to the big boss's office, hot, frustrated, tears already burning my vision. "I can't do this anymore," I blurted out. You need to find someone else to fix this." He tried to offer me lunch. The fact it was 11 a.m. didn't help. He was completely missing the point. Bless his heart, he thought a sandwich would fix me. This wasn't hunger pang. This was a total system breakdown. But then, an hour later, with me still as frustrated and in mental pain as having taken the hardest dodgeball to the face, something unexpected happened. The boss gathered the two warring leaders. His words: "Look what you've done. You've even broke Chris." For years, I bought into the myth that professional meant being a frictionless, sometimes emotionless, smiling machine that showed no cracks. Yet, my sudden, raw vulnerability landed with more impact than any shouting match ever could. It was a pattern interrupt, a moment of startling clarity. By finally dropping the mask and showing I was very much human, I didn't just show vulnerability, I showcased the human cost of our dysfunction. It forced them to look beyond their egos and acknowledge the damage they were creating to me, to the agency, and, of course, to the client. That was the moment I stopped confusing professionalism with performance. My empathy and humour weren't merely soft skills to be plastered on like a veneer. They were the very engine oil keeping our high performance machinery from seizing up. The real game wasn't faking positivity, and as they call it, surface acting, but genuinely regulating my emotions for the sake of my career and the team, and sometimes allowing people to see that I was not perfect. Spoiler alert, this series will show that I was and are not perfect. I mean, who is, to be honest? It's the difference between wearing a mask to hide and believing in the process to succeed. One conceals the truth, the other signals your commitment. Your most powerful leadership tool isn't a bulletproof smile. It's the courage to show that you are human. It's the real emotions, the deep care that truly galvanizes a team and builds that so needed trust. In this series, I'll go deep on the masks we wear and why we wear them. While I go and write the next episode, which is going to be from faking it to being it, please have a think about the masks you have, the masks you wear, you need to wear, or you want to put on every day. And let me know in the comments what ones they are, which ones you use. I'd love to hear. I've been Christopher Stanley, and you've been listening to Masks. For the full article, jump on over to my Substack. Until next time, stay safe, and remember, it's okay to be human.